Hello, Ray Phoenix here, welcome to Let's Play Mega Man 1 Part 3. So to get through this part where all these propeller robots will be coming after us, we could use the Fireman's weapon. It's one of the best weapons in the game because it produces a shield around us as well as shoots out a piece of fire that destroys enemies easy in one hit. So it's a nice little shield weapon that protects us from, hazards. That's why it's such a great weapon. So it's a tradition that every single Mega Man game has you fight all the Robot Masters again at the end of the game, and so we're taking part in that tradition now. We see it sent Cutman after us. That's then Cutman's just as big of a wuss as he's always been. We can destroy him easy for a plasma shot. Unless we have no other choice really, because Cutman's weakness is Gutsman's weapon, which we can only use that there's boulders around, which there aren't any boulders around, so we can't use Gutsman's weapon on him. Use Lackman's weapon to destroy those turrets that are right below us, because it shoots in 3 directions, so we can just shoot and destroy those turrets easy, so it gets that off. So now there's going to be another Robot Master coming up, so we better equip our Rolling Cutter, because that's his weakness. The Rolling Cutter looks like Pac-Man, but it's a pair of scissors. So here's a Lackman. A Lackman's going to be a complete total wuss again. Oh, look at that, we actually had to use more than one Rolling Cutter on him. Looks like a Lackman did improve a little bit since we last saw him, but not by much. So now we could use this Magnet Beam here. We could skip over this whole entire level using the Magnet Beam. That's the Magnet Beam. It's almost like that raccoon suit from Super Mario Bros. 3 where you can use it to fly over entire levels. That's kind of what this Magnet Beam's like. We can use it to bypass entire parts of levels and get to things that would otherwise be unreachable pretty much. So we're continuing going on through Wily's castle. It's supposed to be Dr. Wily's castle, or it's supposed to be heavily protected from all of his greatest defense forces, and apparently his greatest defense forces seem to be octopus batteries, and some of those other turret things can be destroyed with a Lackman's weapon really easy. This whole level makes heavy use, kind of wants you to use the Lackman's weapon quite a bit. So hopefully the people who made this game knew that a Lackman's weapon was the best weapon in the game, and that it's highly overpowered too, so you're going to be wanting to use it a lot, and it's very energy efficient as well too. It's probably the most energy efficient weapons in the entire Mega Man franchise. And I think they kind of got smart with that in the later games. In the later games, the weapons you get are not very energy efficient. They run out really quickly, so you pretty much have to use your standard Mega Buster more than 90% of the time if you play those later Mega Man games, those later classic Mega Man games. And so I remember going through this level for the first time around. I actually did pretty well at it, mostly because I looked up guides of this game before I actually went for the game. I should always look up guides before you go through a game like this, because there's a lot of, things that need guides. There's a lot of, it's almost like a Zelda game almost in a way, where you have to, know exactly what to get and where to get it, or even, in some RPG games. This game almost is kind of like that, only it's a 2D platformer, but it does have some of those, elements of, going through the level and finding stuff and collecting stuff. And there isn't a lot of that in this game specifically, but in some of the later games that have, there's more stuff like that, especially Mega Man 7 for sure has a lot of that, and where you have to go around finding stuff, and in the Mega Man X series is a lot of that too, but we'll get to that way later. So here's the boss this level. This boss is going to demonstrate a horrible design flaw of this game. Look at who this boss is. It's us. We're fighting ourselves. We're fighting an evil version of ourselves. And so the reason why this level completely sucks is because, the reason why this boss level completely sucks is because this boss looks exactly the same as us. He always uses the same weapon that you use. There's absolutely no way of differentiating the two of you together. So there's no way to tell if that's actually you or the boss or whatever. There's no way of telling that at all. It's completely, I don't even know who I'm controlling anymore. It gets confusing all the time. I mostly win by sheer luck most of the time. Sheer dumb luck is what gets me to win most of the time. And I can see a few Tetris shapes in the background too, or at least one Tetris shape. And all that. Or yeah, I can see if I can spot a few Tetris shapes. Yeah, I wonder if these people are fans of Tetris, or they were considering playing Tetris in the background or something like that. And so now the music has changed because things are getting more serious. We're getting deeper and deeper into Wily's castle, and things are going to be getting more, serious, it's more I'm done toying with you kind of thing. Now it's time to take on the real forces, Dr. Wily's real evil forces. But even then, this is one of the more challenging levels of the game. Even then, if you know exactly what to do, this isn't the worst challenge. Mega Man 1 is not the hardest game in the series. What gives it a lot of its challenges, some of its flaws. The gravity in this game is completely broken. Not sure if any of you noticed yet, but sometimes you fall off a platform, or walk off a platform, or walk off the Magnet Beam or something like that. It's like Mega Man just completely plummets to the ground at an extremely fast speed. They can barely notice him. If you're using a TV with bad frame rates, you won't even see. It's like, it'll be like he disappears completely because it falls that fast. That's due to more of the broken gravity physics of this game. So like the same with the buoyancy, as I said earlier. There isn't really any buoyancy in this game, so a lot of the physics in this game are kind of wonky or odd, which they fix that in the sequels. That's good for them for fixing that in the sequels. So now you really get for this part by just jumping and shooting at those exploding torpedoes, exploding bullet bills, or whatever you want to call them. And you could change the speed here. You could just run backwards. This means you're naturally being pulled through the current of water. You could press the left area if that'll stop you completely, or you could press right and you could keep going, but I don't recommend doing that. So I recommend using a turbo controller if you have one, but if you don't, you probably still just hammer the regular fire button, get carpal tunnel if you're okay with that. And you just pretty much have to shoot at this thing, this I don't know what you call this thing, this robot. I think it's supposed to be one of Dr. Wily's defense cards or something like that. You know, Dr. Wily's big on robot defenses and stuff like that. It lives in underwater bubbles. It's clearly waterproof. I mean, it's not waterproof, and that's why it's in a bubble or something like that. When you destroy its bubble, it gets exposed to water, which instantly destroys it. Those blocks in the middle of the screen can be picked up for Gutsman's weapon, but then we'll run out quickly, and we'll still be needing some of them afterwards. So now that we just damaged it quite a bit for our regular plasma Mega Buster, or whatever it's called, we can now pick up these rocks, and we can throw it into the defense robot, and there, we destroy the defense robot. Just as easy as that. There's a lot of strategy involved, and those boxes don't regenerate, so if you lose, you pretty much have to get a game over and start this level again, which is really annoying, I think. So now it's the absolute final last level of the game. We're deep into the bowels of Dr. Wily's castle, or his fortress, or whatever. I don't even know what the place exactly looks like, because the later games it shows a map of what the castle looks like and where you are in the castle, but this game doesn't have any of that. It just leaves it up to the imagination as to where are we, what does it look like, where exactly are we in the castle? But no, we must be far into it if we got through this part already. So you can see there's some sculptures of Gutsman are built in there, because you know Dr. Wily has a clear fascination with Gutsman. Well, it's not really clear at this point, but I mean, he does have an obsession with Gutsman if it isn't obvious, and this does continue on in the later games too. Dr. Wily loves Gutsman. Gutsman's like the greatest thing ever to Dr. Wily. He probably considers him to be the greatest robot he never built. He probably built all of his robots. All the robots that he will eventually build, he probably built them out of jealousy because of Gutsman. And so he uses a magnet beam to get past this part easy, because one of those train things, again, we saw in Gutsman, all those things are unpredictable. There's a 1-up, there's that thing from those Capcom 1942 game, or 1943, that replenishes all your health and all your weapons, but it's too dangerous to get that. So we now have Bomb Man's weakness this time around, which is Fireman's weapon. We can destroy him easy. The logic here is that fire ignites his bombs, which explodes, but really I think it would make more sense if it was a rolling cutter, because the rolling cutter could cut bombs in half and leaves them, and renders them null and void, or destroys them. So you see here, we're using the Ice Slasher and Fireman, but look at that, if I pause the game using the select button, I can do the pause trick and defeat Fireman easy. Just the pause trick doesn't only work with Lackman's weapon, it works with all the other weapons in this game too. It theoretically even works with the P shot, with the P shot as well too, but that wouldn't be that effective because that doesn't do a lot of damage. So now we completely murdered Iceman, and now it's the last of the bosses that are not the final boss of the game. It's Gutsman. Yeah, because you know Dr. Wily has a clear thing for Gutsman, right? That's why I saved him for last. He would be completely heartbroken if Gutsman died. So that's why I sent all the other robots to kill us first, but none of them got to kill us. So to his disappointment, we got to Gutsman, we destroyed Gutsman. Now it's time for the final boss. Ready for the final boss? We're going to be getting an energy refill, so let's just refill whatever needs to be refilled. Let's use the Elecman's weapon, because that's going to be one of the boss's weaknesses. So now it's final boss time. We're going to fight against Wily Machine Number 1, and that is what it's called, the final boss. I remember playing this for the first time ever back in like early 2011. I got this game for Christmas in 2010 on what's it called, the Mega Man Anniversary Collection. I mean, sure, I knew the weaknesses. Look, guys, he's the Fireman's weapon. You destroy the first form easy, then Elecman's weapon destroys the second form. We see Albert Einstein is flying that thing around, and yeah, I was like really like sweating at this part. Like I didn't know much about it. My skills weren't that good back then. It was very rare for me to beat NES games. I kind of accepted the fact that NES games were games that I would never beat, or games that were kind of impossible unless you like have extreme gaming skills. But I actually studied this one and looked more into this one, and I learned the logic behind it, and I was actually quite impressed I managed to beat the game. But now it doesn't seem as big of an achievement anymore, considering the fact that the Mega Man Anniversary Collection version may have been slacking in difficulty from what I've seen. But rest assured, this is not the Anniversary Collection version. This is an actual ROM of the NES version, so yeah, I beat the game right here. So Dr. Wily's begging on his knees, "Oh, please don't kill me. I know you destroyed my evil forces and we're getting some more redundant points which do absolutely nothing. So we pretty much destroyed Dr. Wily and we defeated what he is, and there, Mega Man has ended the evil domination of Dr. Wily and restored the world to peace." However, the never-ending battle continues. It is until all destructive forces are defeated, implying there'll be sequels or more games. Fight Mega Man for everlasting peace. So you see, Mega Man's going to be running back to his home from Dr. Wily's fortress. And as he runs home, it's going to show mountains in the background. I'll show the credits rolling on the bottom of the screen. It's going to show the names of the people who supposedly worked on this game. And play some nice sounding music. This is the kind of music I like to hear an orchestra play or something like that. It would sound awesome as an orchestral song. You see Mega Man fades away into the shadows as the sun sets. He's running down. I don't know what he's thinking about now, but apparently oh, look at that. Mega Man turned into Astro Boy. He just merged now. He just morphed into Astro Boy now, and he's still running down the whatever this is as Astro Boy. With his Astro Boy hairstyle, it looks very shiny and metallic because he's a robot, so it makes sense it would look shiny or to have shine on it. I heard that, or he puts a lot of grease in his hair, so see an aircraft carrier, or it looks like an aircraft carrier in the background, and there's a cityscape. So you're in 2000X, I don't know if things are like him. Yuki-chan's papa was the sound programmer. It wasn't Yuki-chan, it was his papa that did the sound program for this game, so we have to thank him for that. This game has some pretty good sound. Presented by Capcom USA, not Capcom Japan, not Capcom Europe, but Capcom USA gave us this game. And you see there's Rock, or Mega Man's sister, Roll, and then there's Santa Claus. No, it's not Santa Claus, that's Dr. Light, the guy that built Mega Man, Rock, and Roll, and all the robots we just went through in this entire game. So yes, this concludes Mega Man 1. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.